All right, so Alvin is our question of the day today.
Yeah, this one goes to the Working Class Bowhunter group. I was just curious, what is it like to actually have a podcast that people want to listen to?
All right, okay. This is fake news. I just figured out who's Alvin. This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Leupold, American to the core.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drury Outdoors 100% Wild podcast. We are powered by DeerCast.
You're Tim Chelsvik.
You are Matt Drury.
We have in-studio guests, so for all you listeners, you should go view
all
it.
You kids out there who love the Working Class Bowhunter podcast, we got Curt and Ross.
Curt, Ross, what's up, man?
We're in here. Thanks for having us, guys. I brought Ross with me. He's been MIA from our show for a while, but we got him away.
How did you work that out? Because are you guys giving him crap when he's not in the studio?
Yeah. Well, he owns his own company.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like, hey, could anyone come down and see the Drury boys with me? And he's like, yeah, I'll just blow everything off for a day and come down with you guys and hang out.
Worked out.
So what do you do? What do you do for a living? Because I know all you guys, except for Curt now, all you guys are working class guys.
Yep.
What do you do for a living?
I own an electrical business, serving agriculture, residential, big ag stuff, a lot of ag, but
bins and pivots and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, fertilizer, buildings. I mean, a little bit of everything. So.
I was going to throw like a random word out.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
pivots.
about.
But I was going to add to it, but I just got nothing.
Oh, yeah, pivot charts. I've heard of those.
Yes,
right.
the pivots.
Right.
Pivot.
And Ross is a Western Illinois boy.
Oh.
That's my stomping grounds where I did my undergrad.
Yep.
Oh, let's make it about you, Tim.
Yeah, he's in your neck of the woods, I guess.
Yeah.
Can we?
So where at, actually?
I'm actually from Biggsville, so west of Monmouth.
Ross Bigger,
That's
Biggsville.
bigger.
That's what I was just putting two and two together.
I know. It's weird.
So we do a section in this where like we have, a Facebook group like you guys do.
Yeah.
And
Our
so
groups are much different.
Copied.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people in it.
And ours.
Yes. No.
Or raunchier people in ours, I think.
So Tim always gives me shout outs to have to do, and there's always a fake name he throws in there. And I'm not kidding. I looked at your name. I knew obviously Ross, but I never heard your last name before. Yeah. And I was like, Bigger. I would have swore this was a fake name.
Yeah.
Well, tell the truth. You're lying. That's not your name.
Well, it goes off the play. I'm Little Curtis on this show, apparently. So thanks, guys. That was you, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah.
It's hard telling who it was.
I
And
love
at this
it,
point,
though.
does it even matter?
I'd much rather it be that way than not that way.
You know, when it was, because I don't remember what episode, this is a while back, but basically our question of the day, you had one of the question of the day that you submitted.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't, I don't think it was an audio version, was it?
It was.
Yeah, it was audio.
Well, it came from Curtis. I don't do the show prep. Tim does the show prep. So I had no idea it was you.
Okay.
And
Little Curtis out of Illinois.
yeah. And then it just evolved into every time now we mention Curtis.
Well, what it was is when we fired off Working Class on DeerCast, it kind of came in like everyone for some reason, which is weird to think like we're on the same platform, but everyone thought like there was some animosity, which is hilarious, and I love that.
Yeah.
But so we just played off it, and so I kind of was making some sarcastic jokes like New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
And then Tim spins it around on me and calls me Little Curtis, my new rap name. So we'll go with it.
It's kind of an homage. I mean, you
I
think
love
of
it.
all the Lils throughout
Yeah.
hip
Lil
hop
Wayne.
history.
Yeah, Lil
They're
Wayne.
tough
Talk to
dudes.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're tough, man.
It's just,
Lil Roy Clark.
let's get a little more original, though. You know what I mean? If you're going to be a rapper, we got to come up with something new. Times are evolving.
Lil Buck Owens.
On your 500th episode, I don't know if this actually made it in the final, but I sent one of the voicemails over to him. I told him to stay away from Mark.
Yeah, and then I laid in Mark's voice message in right after your HT. So. Perfect. Yeah, it made it. So we have fun at least.
We were talking before we did the show. We should engineer some kind of false friction between us. Like
I think it'd be good for
like a
business.
shoving match, or
Yeah.
Matt and Ross got into a slap fight in the middle of the
Right,
podcast.
Tickle fight?
yeah. It's like my worst nightmare come true because when Steve was on Working Class, he was like a big pro wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And like he always wants to do like promos like that. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. But this is like
chair over your back.
Yeah, this is the one time like that would come into play to, you know what I mean, to do like some sort of wrestling promo to just create a buzz between the two shows.
Scott, we need a chair. We need a chair so we can just start hitting people with it.
I'm like, what are the sound bites? Yeah. So, I mean, I love it though. I think that's like hunting camp, right? Kind of giving each other crap about different things.
That's the best part of hunting camp.
Oh, yeah, it is. But also, it's like I don't want to share hunting camp with guys I can't do that with.
No.
That's
You
right.
know?
I've done that before. It's not as fun.
It's all uptight and uncomfortable, dude.
We need to get the hell out of
Unless
here.
you're
Yeah.
busting on each other and getting busted on, you're probably not buddies.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. Or anybody that's worked on a job site knows how that goes, man.
Yeah.
You got to have thick skin
Yeah.
to
Yep.
operate
Like
anywhere.
you and Ross are both idiots.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what's up?
It's
Is that how you bust on people?
we mesh well.
Oh yeah, we take our dumbness and smear it on other people. That's what we do.
And it makes sense to us.
Yeah, you're sitting awfully close to me.
Like a
buddy.
monkey with its own scat.
Yeah, you're gonna guys will be way more dumb after this podcast.
That's
I don't know if that's possible.
It's seriously one of the pieces of feedback we get about our show is that people feel better knowing they're not the only ones that struggle trying to kill a deer.
Yep.
Matt and I are very honest about.
You can't add him into the group anymore because he's killing some pretty good deer
killer.
now.
Well, he's Mr. 200. I know he doesn't like when I put him on the blast like that, but we'll stop. But I kill quantity of deer. Ross kills less deer, but larger ones.
Killing tomorrow's trophies today.
That's what I do.
That's kind of
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to let them get big and fat and lazy.
That's not true. I try to kill bigger deer, but sometimes I get excited, man. You know?
Where
Hey.
was your 200 from?
Illinois.
Vermont.
Yeah.
It's from Vermont.
Just keep it vague.
It's in St. Louis area, Missouri.
In the timber.
You know, I'm curious because I grew up in Illinois, lived there for a good chunk of my life. It's a crazy state.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, different parts of it. I mean,
From
there's
what
some-
angle are you talking, though?
Politically,
Politically, we're all
tax wise.
Oh, boy.
And it's not the easiest to be. It's like my buddy owned an archery shop there in Bloomington Normal for a while.
Yeah. Yep.
And he was like, Tim, I gotta zip tie these bows up, the strings on them before they leave the shop. Unless they're in a case, because you can't transport a bow in your vehicle unless it's rendered inoperable.
Well, yeah, it's not just that, but you know, you go to any store there, you know, a sporting goods store to get, say, something for your muzzleloader, powder, you know, just the sabots, whatever. They're locking them in a box and they're escorting you to the front.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What?
We're the only
Where
state
are
with a
we?
FOID
Yeah,
card.
it's-
We Russia?
Yeah,
You know,
that's crazy.
firearm owner's identification card. I believe we're the only state that has anything like
I
that.
think so. I've got one. That's
they're-
how you buy ammo.
They're
or
trying to
guns.
do away with it, but it just never gets that
I-
far. It's dumb. I have a concealed carry. Why do I need that? You know?
Yeah.
Well, and just getting a concealed carry in Illinois is a crazy long process.
Yeah,
not
You
fun.
have to-
And then there's a bunch of rules behind it on when you can use it.
and
I
you
mean,
can't brandish it when you get mad at people on the
Oh,
road.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wave a gun around
But
in
you-
traffic, you know?
What's the point in carrying, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would be scared to even if I had to use it in Illinois, I would be nervous about using
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
you know?
legally, what happened to you if
Yeah.
you had to, if you were put in a position where you had to defend your home or defend, you know,
or you're in a gas station
Yeah.
or you're whatever.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
depends
I
on-
would
if
hate
they've
to
got
see.
a no guns sticker on the window and you're concealed carry and
Yeah.
Yeah.
things start getting wild.
I think the county we live
You get
in,
in
you know,
big
if someone
trouble.
broke in and you shot them, you might, I don't know. We're far enough away from Chicago.
Yeah.
But Chicago just puts that rain on the whole state. It's a bummer.
They really do.
But it really, we say it a lot, you know, because Ross is an Illinois boy. Austin's our other guy from Illinois, and everybody else is from Iowa. We got one guy from Ohio. If it wasn't for the deer hunting in Illinois, I don't think most pro Second Amendment and people with our outlook would even live there.
No.
The deer hunting keeps us there, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I have a brother-in-law, my wife's brother. He's you know was in the service and he was stationed over there for a while. So they lived over there for a while. And he's a big 2A guy and he's you know he's concealed carry and a patriot. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah, good
And-
red-blooded American.
And finally he had to move. This is probably 6-7 years ago now, but he had to move out. He's like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't. It's just it's. A
He probably went to
communist
Iowa
state
or
there.
Missouri or Wisconsin,
He
didn't
came
he?
to St. Louis. Yeah,
Yeah.
he lives 2 houses away from me.
yeah.
It's tough though when you have family farm generations and
Sure.
you know, you got
Yeah.
roots. You can't just pack up.
Yeah,
and-
there's no place like home. It just sucks in
Yeah.
homes in
Yeah.
Illinois sometimes,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
Yeah,
What do
makes
you
it
do?
tough.
I'm not going anywhere. for
But
the
man,
time
they got
being.
some good deer hunting.
They got some good deer hunting. I get my probably monthly text from Mark saying move to Des Moines.
Oh yeah.
And I just, you know,
Well, you'd go from good to great.
well, right, you know, it's just like finding a spot. I think people overlook that. You know, our buddy Jeremy Beck from Wisconsin, he's like, I don't want to come down and try and find a lease, permission pieces, even public in Illinois. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, so we work a little harder for our leases or permission pieces and work on favors to get a piece and do stuff a lot of other people won't do or put the effort in or even have the time to do to get.
And we don't need to go into details on
No.
that.
But most people just won't anyway, though, you know.
Once you get a piece, you got to do everything you can to hold on to it.
That's right.
It's hard to find
It's
them.
a cutthroat deal. Everybody out there, they'd love to take your piece away from you.
Well, that too, and non-residents can kill a buck every year in Illinois, and you can't do that in Iowa. I know you can in Missouri and stuff,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
so do you guys feel the pressure down here like that?
It's a little different. I mean, because I think with us having the firearm season the way it's set up, I don't think we have a great deer herd, and I do feel like MDC has done a pretty admirable job in general. They get a lot of shit, but I feel like they're a great advocate for us. I mean, there's some things that you can't agree with everything they do, you know, but in general, I think they protect our habitat really well and do a great job. But with that firearm season where it is, I think a lot of guys argue that with the ability for non-residents to come in, get an over-the-counter tag, we get a lot of...
Even for firearm you can get
yeah. And it just, I think it makes it tough for our deer to hit the quality and caliber that Illinois and Iowa do.
Yeah.
That's my personal kind of belief around it. That's a lot of people's belief. It's not just mine. And so I think we feel a pressure. It's just different. I don't think like I would die if one of my leases had a freaking 170 to a 200 inch deer. It just, every once in a while it might happen just out of sheer fact that we're crappy at killing them.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But in general, it's hard to find those deer. Yeah. They exist. Obviously there are plenty of them in Missouri, but it's not, I don't think it's nothing like Iowa. And I think Illinois has a little bit of an edge up on us too. That's my personal opinion.
Well,
of it.
It's crazy how much of a mecca northern Missouri is. Like so many people throughout the state, they got a lease in northern Missouri. I'm going north to hunt like that. So
it's
there's
Southeast Iowa, really.
It's like there's two different states. There's northern Missouri and then the rest of the state. And that's really where there's so much pressure on finding and keeping a good chunk of ground.
Yeah, I can see that.
When you were talking about your gun season, when you said where it's at, what's the dates on it?
No, it's mid-November through to Thanksgiving, basically. So it's not a great period, frankly. I mean,
and how long is it?
It's
10, 12 days, something like that.
I'm trying
straight
to think.
through.
Yeah, that's tough.
Ours,
Illinois is broken up a little bit.
Yeah, but it's same. End of November and then beginning of December.
I always say we could probably talk about this for hours because we do a lot on our podcast. Even if Illinois molded everything they do kind of how Iowa does, Illinois would outshine Iowa in caliber deer that get shot there every year. I think
so.
For a while, Illinois used to be the state to go to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it definitely did. Like, we're a $2 state, and non-residents can kill a buck over the counter in Illinois every year. If you went down to a $1 state for residents and made non-residents build points, a lot of people don't like the thought of that, but I think for the quality of the deer and the number of deer you would see, it would be insane.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a tough thing because once you get into the amount of revenue that a state generates out of it, that's where the conversation, whether they like to talk about it or admit that or not, I think that's a major factor. And I'm sure it is for Missouri as well. I mean, I don't know the breakdown, but I'm sure it exists where you could find what a non-resident brings in as far as revenue, not only in hotels and restaurants and gas stations and all that. It's just astronomical, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, you take a state that's in the financial situation that Illinois is in.
They're looking for every dollar they can get.
Yeah, they're going to be like, get out of here, Curt, and your stupid ideas. You know? I'm like, all right, that's right.
Now, what they do with that dollar.
There's definitely nothing we would prefer them do. They don't put it into the roads, I don't think. But.
No, it's interesting. When we travel over to Illinois to hunt, we have a place that's kind of straight east of here. And, of course, Dad hunts up Fulton County area and want to go up and visit there. It's amazing when you cross over, if I'm, pulling the trailer, with a side-by-side or whatever, when you cross over in Illinois, it's like dodging holes and stuff.
More gas taxes. That'd fix it.
Yeah, good.
We always try. My in-laws live in Springfield, Illinois, and it's like we're going through the desert. We gas up right before we cross over into Illinois.
Those prices are gouge worthy, and even when prices aren't bad anywhere else, it's like California.
Well, the thing used to be, I'm pretty sure this is illegal, but we'd go across the river to Iowa and get our gas. I don't live that close to the river anymore.
Why would that be illegal?
Then there's something with the tax going to fuel.
Everybody does it. So
maybe I'm way off.
I mean,
anytime
it's like bringing New Glarus Brewery beer from Wisconsin into Illinois. You can't do it.
Yeah.
What?
Right?
I don't know.
Is this a thing?
I don't know.
Are you messing with me right now?
Maybe.
When my folks still lived in Ottawa, my dad would always call me before I was coming. He's like, "Hey, would you pick me up a carton of cigarettes before you?"
Well, yeah.
Because even cigarettes are like,
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, I'm sure
It's like going to
dip
Canada. When I worked for John Deere, you go to Canada to buy like a can of chews, like $25.
Oh yeah.
It's dumb.
That'll stop that habit real quick.
Nationalized healthcare. What's going on?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Anyway, yeah, our state sucks. So
But the deer hunting's good.
the deer hunting's
Kill
good.
a deer in Illinois with an atlatl.
Probably not. I don't know, but I don't know actually.
With the what?
An atlatl. It's like that prehistoric pre-bow.
It's like a 6 foot long dart that you throw with.
Yeah.
Well, Tim
I don't
Wells
know.
lives over there. I'm sure he's tried it. I mean, he's the
he's in
king
our
of
area. I don't know.
all that stuff.
I guess I don't know. Is he killing deer with spears in Illinois?
I don't know if he
I don't
is.
think 'cause you can't
what
in
about
Missouri.
what about his blow darts or
I
whatever?
don't think, and that's why he's always like
I've never seen any.
traveling. To
I don't think
go
you.
do that stuff.
I wouldn't think that you could unless they had like an established time frame that you could do it in.
Right.
I don't know.
Missouri just opened it up maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and people have been doing it
Yeah.
With an atlatl.
with an atlatl. Yeah. Some guy killed a really great buck over here on the
Public.
island that's in the Mississippi or the Missouri River.
Yeah, wasn't it on public ground or no?
Yeah, I think because that
impressive.
island is
Yeah.
public.
I mean, you got to be within 15 yards.
10,
or
I would
10,
think.
Well,
yeah.
the guys that are really good, like you can launch them longer than a football field, but to be accurate
Yeah.
and deadly. And what he said was like, because I interviewed this guy, he said, Tim, it was the craziest thing because the buck was like maybe 12 yards away. He was on a really like a 6 foot high stand.
Yeah.
And it was like a ladder stand where he could take enough of a step forward because that's part of the process.
Right.
Yep.
And he's like, it flies so slow, but the dart is so heavy that it just hit the deer in the side and just kind of slow motion, but it just kept going into it.
Oh, really?
And it does a lot of damage.
Dad's
Man,
really
that's
good
crazy.
friends with Tim Wells. They talk all the time, and I'm pretty sure he told me that Tim was, if not a college athlete, for sure high school, but I'm pretty sure he said college athlete for javelin.
Oh, that makes
Makes a lot of
sense.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, like the accuracy that you could have, and
Yeah.
Tim is really good at that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have
it's
a hard
crazy
time
stuff.
enough killing deer with the bow. I'm good.
let's up the
You know,
difficulty
it's like
level
going
on it.
traditional equipment's one thing, but it's like I'm gonna get an atlatl on board with this. I don't. It's cool, but
We
Not ready to make that step yet.
not for me. Probably. I got a while.
we had visited this is it Blackbird Ranch? It's a famous ranch in Missouri. It was, I don't even remember why we were doing this, but Mark, Terry, and I had to go visit and meet up with Dr. Grant Woods. I think it was getting ready to sell. This is years ago, and they were letting Grant hunt the property or whatever, and so he was doing it with traditional stick and string, and so he was. Just before the hunt, he was practicing. He was having us all do it, and I'm like, "Holy crap! I'm really bad at this.
Yeah,
At 10 feet,
Yeah.
really, really bad at this.
It's another level, man.
It is another level.
I mean, that's cool, but that's another like level all on the internet. You'd be like, yeah, I'm public land, traditional equipment. Like, I'm public land, atlatl. What's up?
saddle.
Saddle atlatl.
That would be like the pinnacle of douche.
And then you ride your e-bike out.
You just maxed out your douche points. Yeah, right.
You spent them all.
Yeah, you just cashed them in there, didn't you? Good job, buddy.
Wearing a flannel shirt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You need
Ironic
to
mustache.
make that Facebook group right now.
Oh, it would get people to join up.
Tens of people.
Yep, but they'd
There'd
be
be
very
3 people on
passionate.
it. Yeah, there'd be that one guy you interviewed and then 2 other guys that are working
We
on it.
only drink craft beer.
Yeah. Only IP. They got IPAs in their Nalgene bottles hooked on the back of their saddle.
They pee in bottles.
Patagonia
Yeah,
stickers.
Yeah, Patagonia stickers, coexist bumper stickers on their Subaru.
I think when you buy a Subaru, they give you a coexist
You would
sticker.
think.
We own, my wife and I own a Subaru, and it didn't
outed him.
It didn't come. No, I love it. It didn't come with one. But I
to
always
buy
thinking
one
about.
separate?
Yeah, you got to get one
check the glove
separate.
box?
So it could be in there. It's in the owner's manual, tucked in the
It's gonna
back.
go home and
It's
be
with
like,
all the extra fuses. So I need to put a coexist bumper sticker on that and use that on my hunting rig when we go out west and stuff. Because then you're under the radar. You look like a granola guy.
That's right.
Right.
Not a doucher. You're not a doucher.
Sure, I love that. Yeah. Maybe I
You'll be
am.
so conflicted as they deflate your tires.
Oh yeah, but they just look like I'll just put trekking poles on the top. They think I'm in there just to hike with my
That's right,
dog,
yes.
and I'm out there trying to kill an elk.
Yeah.
We're idiots. See, you guys brought us in. We get off track like that. That's what we do.
This is basically what our whole podcast is.
We have no track.
What are you talking about? This is a normal show for us.
We got more in common than I thought, guys.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too crazy trying to blend in or pretend you're something else when you go out west, though. Like we had a rental car when we were in South Dakota and had California plates on it. So
That's worse than Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we pull up and we're getting ready to ask permission on the spot to this guy. He was out checking his mail, and we come pulling up in a red, like bright red little car, probably a Subaru, and nice California plates on it, and got out like, hey man, we're not from California, so
First things
first. We're cool.
you know,
Yeah.
let's get that established.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's.
How'd it
You
go?
kind of want to blend it. It went good. It was good.
Yeah, you led with that. Yeah.
Because I grew up on a farm. He's a farmer. We started talking tractors. I mean, just.
Started talking some of that fancy electrical talk. He was.
You ever heard of a pivot?
Guys, pivots and bends is not really that high end. That's pretty basic farm talk, fellas.
We're not farmers, fellas.
I'm picking up on
The
that.
tractor I own is a
Craftsman.
tractor.
I don't even have that. Pay a guy to mow my yard.
Got self-propel.
Listen,
Yeah. Well, hey.
we have a lot to learn.
We're inner city now, boys.
This is right.
I like it.
Yeah,
are.
you're in the big city, St. Louis.
Yeah.
But we're growing as people.
Individuals
That's
and
right.
hunters.
I have a farm now. Now I have to learn how to farm it.
Yeah. You gotta go a little bigger than a Craftsman tractor to get some work done on that. so.
That's right.
I put a food plot in last year.
No kidding.
I are a big boy.
That's good.
I've put a couple in, but I lean heavily on friends
Oh, yeah.
and Mark
They're
and
just
Terry to tell
decorative.
me what to do.
Ask Ross how many times he's put food plots in for me. He's got all his equipment
Yeah.
out there setting me up.
It's all right, though. It's good. I
I'm
enjoy
working
it.
on that. I got my little John Deere 650, like a mid 1980s
That's
tractor.
cool.
I paid
Cool.
$2,500 for, and save up and get a tiller.
Yeah.
Find a mower on
Little
Craigslist.
steps.
Nothing make you feel like a man than driving a tractor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's fun though. It's a fun.
Shoving
And you got to
someone
think of
who's-
more things to do with it other than let it sit for next year's food plot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
You hate to buy all the really nice stuff and then just stare at it in the shed.
Get a
yeah.
front end, loader on it so you can actually like plow your driveway.
yeah. Just
impress your wife with it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Look at me.
what I try
on
to
this
do.
drive.
Not how that works.
I'm brush hawking.
Yeah. I don't know. I like that type of stuff, man. Like the hobby farm stuff is fun.
Oh yeah.
It makes you feel good.
I think back like generations, like how disappointed our great grandpas would be, and where
They use that stuff
not
for
in
real
you,
work.
obviously, but in us certainly.
Hey, Ross is a rare breed for your age, man. I think. I mean, getting after it the way you do. But Austin, our other guy, he's a full-time farmer.
Yep.
He's a little bit on a bigger scale. He was born into a farm family, and that's what he does. So it's kind of cool. We can bounce a lot of stuff off him. And
Sure.
stuff.
Well, I think it's sad when you think about just how far like technology and how far it's come in say 50 to 100 years, but how far the man has fallen behind in those 50 to 100
soft.
years, like in being a man. Like it's soft isn't even the word for it, to be honest with you. And so you got to really work to make sure you don't become just a super pansy.
Oh yeah, it's
with
easy
the rest
now.
of society, because it is easy.
Oh yeah, I think deer hunting you can be a soft deer hunter, but there's something. I think that's attraction. A lot of it, it's like makes you feel good. Even not necessarily like the killing part, but like the process of it. I don't know. It's just man stuff. And
Farming's like my dad and I were talking the other day. It's my great uncle said, "Boy, I never thought I'd see farming evolve like it has." And he said that, and then about 10 years later, before he passed away, 10 years went by and it had changed even more. And he goes, "I don't think I've even seen the tip of the iceberg yet."
Yeah.
When they're
It's the same principle. It's just constantly evolving and getting better.
Yeah, when you're droning your, major food sources for pesticides and stuff, it's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Or last year, we actually sprayed a lot of our fungicide on with a drone.
That we had
that's
just
crazy.
reach out to us that does that they started that for their company. That's what they started. And I passed it on to Mark and Terry. It's like, hey, this might be something worth trying.
Yeah.
I wonder how efficient it is compared to the traditional. Probably about the same. But you get
you're more efficient with a drone, because if you think about a helicopter or an airplane flying back into our like little necks and things like that, where the timber gets real close, they can't get down in there, where a drone can just like right there, precision.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Plus you get a lot more penetration of the canopy off of a drone versus just a mist on a flyby on a plane. You know what I mean?
Never would have thought.
Well, tractors that can drive themselves.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I've seen some tractors with no cabs on them now. They're like remote control.
Oh, when I worked at Deere, it's what you auto track. You sit in there, double click the button, snaps your line, and you just put your feet up on your little foot pegs there in the combine, let it harvest until you got to turn around.
They've made it so that I'm sure that your average farmer can hardly do any work on his actual equipment when it comes to that level.
Yeah, they strong arm you with the dealerships and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you have a major breakdown, the dealer comes out and charges you whatever. And has to
My dad and I were talking about that the other day, and there's just the amount of money you spend in prescriptions or just a GPS in general, and then having to have somebody work on it when it breaks. Mm-hmm. The cost effectiveness of having the auto row shut offs and things like that's nice. But all the GPS and everything else, you spend a lot of money. So to justify that, you got to farm a boatload.
Yeah.
And Dad's been there on that end, and like he just told me the other day, he's like, I don't need that stuff anymore. I'm going to go back to how I used to do it before.
Sometimes simpler is better.
I'll hit the 100%. Toggle switches and
levers
shut
and
my rows off. Yeah. Levers and buttons.
Didn't they have like drone tractors in the movie Interstellar?
I don't know.
Never seen it.
It's a great movie, but
Who's in it? I'll
Matthew
be the judge of
McConaughey.
that. Okay, maybe it's okay.
I'll put it on my movie list that I'll never get to.
it's great.
No shit.
Especially if you have a daughter, like it is a tearjerker.
Yeah, I won't watch that then. I'm good.
Way to bring it
Too
down,
sensitive.
Tim.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Farty
farming
really died.
I sucked the wind out of the conversation.
It's all good.
That's kinda
That
what
farm
I'm going
conversation
for.
was
No, you're good
done
at it. It's
anyway.
good.
Here's what I do when Tim does that.
You want to punch me right now, but you won't. And someday it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll just cut and then the punch.
This be the one to do it on.
That's right.
Let's put some action, boys.
Let's do it. Do we want to welcome in our new Rack Pack members?
Do we? Are there some fake names?
There's always one.
All right. So if you don't know what the Rack Pack is, you go to Facebook, just in the search button, you go Drury Outdoors, 100% Wild, Rack Pack, and it'll come up.
I'm in
Will.
it.
Little Curtis is there.
Oh,
Gotta get you in there, Ross.
Yeah, I'm
Stirring
not
it
in
up.
there.
Come on, man.
I'm catching up.
Jeez.
So Ross Bigger is not in there, and he's not the fake name
We'll
today.
get on that on the way home.
That's a real name.
Okay, so we got Datso Raven.
Okay.
And a lot of times when I look at Tim, it's an indicator of whether it's real or fake. All right. Frank Norman, Anthony Hill, Trevor Luke, Dwayne Gunter, Caden Snyder. I'm going with Datso Raven. Datso Raven.
That's a good one.
It was Caden Snyder. Caden's alive.
Okay. Sure.
Sorry, Caden.
Sure, Tim.
Shout out to Caden. Thanks for being there.
That's the funniest part for me is someone sitting at home being like, I'm a real person.
We get that in the Rack Pack like all the time. Like, well, I exist.
Yeah, it's like, hey, that's me.
Sorry to disappoint
like I butcher
you.
these people's names.
That's so Raven's all mad about it in the group. Like, what the hell, guys?
They've had a hard life with a name like that.
Yeah, no
They get
kidding.
wrapped on
Her
them.
dad hated you and he dipped out, didn't he? That's a boy named Sue. There.
Could have
After
been
a child
Gunter.
star.
Could have been Dwayne Gunter. You never know.
Could be all these people.
Could be.
That'd be awesome, actually. That's fun. I enjoyed that.
Could be a bunch of fake people. There's no real people in them.
Now, don't steal that from us. We got not much going on for us.
We got better content than that, guys.
We don't have to waste our
We
time.
have no doubt. We claim that we're not your favorite outdoor podcast. Well,
Okay.
that's because
Yeah,
your podcast is people's favorite outdoor
That's
podcast.
not true either, though. That's not true.
No, we've heard it and we've seen it, and that's where that came from.
Well,
I'm not
I've-
going to name names, but it hits close to home.
Okay, I know. We won't talk about that. But we've got some feedback. We're a little raunchy for most people. So you guys, like, I mean,
We're wholesome compared
guys are wholesome,
to
yeah.
working class.
I mean,
we get dark, man.
one time,
Sometimes.
I
it
said
can spin out of control, but
I said a curse word one day, GD,
Toots.
and I got a DM from a lady whose
Listen.
kid listens.
Oh, man.
She was not happy.
I won't
with
even
me.
begin to get into some of the
I felt
stories
bad.
we've had. Well, so this is what's good about like Working Class on DeerCast. That's the PG version of Working Class.
Yeah.
You go to regular Working Class Bowhunter.
I better hang on.
I mean, every episode's marked explicit. So if you still listen with your kids in the car, I mean,
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
Like we did our side of things. You got to do yours. So
We've only had one explicit episode, and that was the Lee Jost episode, and he was hilarious.
you just let him do his thing.
Oh yeah, he was just Lee.
yeah.
You got, and that's fun though. You know, I mean, I get some people's points. It's not always necessary to cuss, but
Some people just talk that way.
that's how we talk. You
That's
know,
right.
like I have to. I don't know how you feel, But on here, like, and even when we do the Working Class on DeerCast, I'm consciously like, don't say the F word.
It's good, though.
That's me the whole time
It's good.
I'm on this show.
Do you feel that way, honestly, in general?
No,
I don't.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause-
I have a potty mouth.
But it's just how we talk, though. You know, it's not.
You're emphasizing a point.
Yeah, I feel like
Every point.
if I meet someone and they cuss a lot, like just at a hunting camp, we'll just go with that as an
Yeah.
example. I'm like, this person is a pretty honest person.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna like keep anything back. They're just.
But it's got to
Expressing.
make sense. You can't use it.
Yeah, you can tell when
You
someone
can't
doesn't
run into
cuss and
ground.
they're
Yeah.
trying
Trying too hard.
Yeah, you just
My
go.
cuss words are like consarned, dagnab,
Darn it.
Yeah, 1930s cuss words.
Gee, dang
aw,
it.
peaches.
When he does cuss, I'm surprised. I'm like,
It's like,
whoa, Tim,
Yeah.
settle down.
Fired up.
Well, he's
here.
mad.
But also know your
like
audience
peaches.
too. You know,
Yeah.
like if we have, I mean, I don't know. We've had a lot of guests on where I'm not going to be just letting them have
Yeah.
it. You know, I'm respectful because
Yeah.
they're going to want to share that episode with people maybe. And
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like, man, those hosts, they just.
Hey,
When we-
Dan Drake, guess what?
Right.
When we
right,
have certain
yeah.
guests on, I wouldn't do like that.
Like
Right.
these guys.
You guys-
wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
do that in front of them.
I got diarrhea.
I don't mind doing
Yeah.
this.
I want that
kind
whole
of stuff.
soundboard to be honest right now, just to go through it.
Sometimes
got-
I'll fire it up.
We got
and I'll
them
just-
labeled
ton of 'em.
appropriately as well.
Yeah.
I'm into that. We might steal that from you guys, but
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
It's the one thing we got going for us.
I'll keep it to you. I'll let you
Little
guys have
Curtis.
that.
God
Yeah,
dang it.
Little Curtis. All right. I'm sorry. I won't steal it. We have a little bit of it, but not that elaborate.
Well,
There's a lot of them on there.
Some of the
there are. That's the problem. I'd like to have a whole computer screen. I mean, in a perfect world, I'd be producing the soundboard
Yeah.
and not hosting.
You'd be
guest
over there in
hosting.
that room with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you were behind the scenes and it was just me here, me trying to talk through a podcast, and you
I would just be hammering it. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
just hammering it.
$200.
I'm just doing all the good
that's a
sounds
good
over and over. That's right.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
And you can kind of tell sometimes when we have a guest on where we're like not sure if we should do the soundboard,
Yeah.
and we do, and they just kind of pause for a second, and then they keep going. It's like, okay, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not into that.
It either loosens them up or they're just like,
Some of them will play ball, like Bruce Pettit from Leopold.
big time.
He was cool with it,
Yes.
but I have a decent enough relationship with Bruce that I was cool with
You know you can
trying
do
it.
that type of
That's
thing,
right.
yeah.
But sometimes you're just. I wasn't going to do that with say. I'm trying to think. Who was the guy from NWTF that? Oh God dang it! Why is his name eluding us? That told the story about the country singer
Rob Keck?
Yeah, Rob Keck.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna.
Just a
We love
podcast with
Rob,
Rob, yeah.
but I'm not gonna go and do oil slick fart noise.
you guys want to hear a funny podcast about Rob?
What's
so
up?
Mark and I did a podcast with him last week. And I was
Mark Drury?
Yeah.
I see.
Our boy. Our boy.
Your employee.
Our what?
Your employee.
My employee, yeah, Mark. Good old Mark. He's doing great.
Glad he's getting you guests.
Yeah, hey, we got something cool coming, man. So you'll be proud. You'll be proud.
Can't
So
wait.
We had so before podcasting with Rob, I was kind of nervous, right? Because he's a wild turkey legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told Mark, I'm like, I don't really get nervous often, but it helps when I can drink. And on our series, we just do it, you know. But anyway, I'm a little nervous, so we get on the Zoom call. Rob gets on, and Rob goes, so what is it, Bert? Bert? And he goes, and who are you, and how long is this gonna take? And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, fun. So, this is who I am.
He was
I'm-
messing with you, wasn't
well,
he?
Mark told him to mess with me beforehand. He goes, okay, your name's Bert. I'm like, Kurt. It's good to see.
It's Bert.
So, but I'm glad he did that because it made me comfortable
Yeah.
then. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, he's one of us. you know.
Rob's
Or
great.
really mad.
Well,
Or he's really angry all the time. Yeah, he was great.
Waddell kept calling me Steve. Remember that?
Legitimately.
I mean, if it wasn't, if he was doing it like ironically, it was very funny. But I think he really thought my name was Steve.
Which was
that's
even
hilarious.
funnier.
Yeah, Steve there had a good point.
Oh man, that's funny.
That was like our most viewed podcast too.
No kid. Was he in here when he did it?
No, he zoomed in.
Well, what's great about Waddell is like he says your name because he's genuine. He wants you to feel connected.
Yeah.
So that stings
Or he
even worse if
doesn't.
it's the wrong name. You're just like, it's not my name.
That's really not. Well, that's fine.
Really forgettable
well,
individual.
Steve.
Matt
I'd
and
be like,
Steve.
yeah,
Oh,
Steve,
man.
that was a great point, Steve.
You guys want me to record a stinger for your show or something? Hey, listen to Matt and Steve.
When do you correct him? Do you correct him right away, or do you just do it at the end for commit?
Well,
Nope.
he just keeps rolling. Like he
Right.
talks so fast. There's no good place.
You're
to
not
jump in.
interrupting.
It's like
Michael.
if you have Nugent talking.
Yeah.
Hey, Ted, excuse me. That doesn't
show.
fly.
No.
Yeah, you just let him do his thing.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So fun.
It was fun.
More
me.
fun for some of us.
Knew my name.
That is awesome. How long was that episode? ago?
That would have been last year, probably spring. It was right as he launched his podcast. I had him on to talk about it. And
Yeah, that's about right.
I'll get on there and listen to it then, just to see that.
It's funny. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
That is amazing.
We need more guests like Michael
He's special.
for several reasons.
And Matt.
We need more views and listens.
It brings him in, man. I love Waddle.
He does.
He's the best.
All right. How about the question of the day?
Do we have to? I
No, we
guess.
don't.
But we
Sit
will.
here quietly
anyway.
for the
Not really.
5-minute segment.
How long have we been on? Oh, we're going through. Okay. I didn't even get the real point. I wanted to have these guys. I wanted you to tell your story as to how you went from, the beginning to quitting your day job.
I can tell that quick.
All right. Well, let's do that first before the question of the day. Let's
do it.
I want to hear it.
Just in general, like starting.
Well, I find it interesting. I mean, the inception of doing this podcast and what kind of the reasoning behind it, a group of guys is shooting the shit, and then how it evolved into, frankly, one of the top podcasts in the industry, and you guys making a mark for yourself, so much so that you're able to follow your dreams and do it full time, which is not easy to quit a full-time job. A lot of people do anything in the outdoor industry as a hobby.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially on the TV, the producer side. I mean, it's
nobody
just
actually hunts for a living.
not many.
Yeah.
Not many.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of find it fascinating to see the evolution from the brainchild of doing it versus where you're at now and the audience you guys built.
Yeah. I'll give you the fairly condensed version. I listened to podcasts before it was like a mainstream thing. I guess that's like my one hipster claim is like, I actually found Rogan way back in the day, him watching internet videos and putting it out like what he did with his house with Brian Redband. And so I was like watching those old podcasts, and I tried to find some other podcasts outside of the hunting industry. I'm like, there's got to be a hunting related one similar to this. Couldn't find one. There was only a handful at the time. I'm like, well, that'd be kind of fun to start one, because I always wanted to film my own hunts and I did, and do something like media wise in the outdoors. So took the jump, got the equipment, got Eric and some of the buddies to join along. Ross and Austin joined in just shy of 200 episodes roughly, right? Mm-hmm. And then we just stayed consistent, didn't change anything, just recorded who we were in conversation with our buddies, and didn't, of course we have a certain guest you button up to do the interview and stuff. But kind of just maintained having fun. And I think we were just lucky enough to get in before the big surge of popularity, the big wave of podcasts, and we were just on the front of the wave. And then we just stayed consistent and chipped away at it and improved on quality and tried to improve on what we did, while still, I guess, making it look like that we don't care in a way. Like there's like a science to that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we're just fortunate enough that people listened and shared it, and really that's the simple version of it all. And we're doing shows, and we try to connect with our listeners in person and do the good old fashioned tour hustle, I guess.
Yeah.
And it just rolled into a point, met a lot of you guys from Drury Outdoors, and that opened, honestly, like Mark was my big break, really. I told him that the other day. I'm like, without you, things would probably maybe have got to where they are, but it would have been a lot slower.
Yeah.
And it just allowed us to do things that we weren't able to do before, and we're having fun and cranking out content like crazy, and just getting it while the getting's good, boys.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, there's no such thing as an overnight success. Like, if people hop in and they see where you guys are now, like, it took years.
Yeah, we're 7 years in. We've done over 500 regular Working Class Bowhunter episodes, and pushing just into the 20s in Working Class on DeerCast now. And so, yeah, we're chipping away.
And I've heard this before, that you, as people, they won't even, like, if it's a podcast that has anything under 100 episodes, like, people won't even give it a listen hardly anymore. It's
maybe. I think just like the credibility of being in the game, because that's like when people come up, they're like, "Who are you guys?" at a trade show. I'm like, "Oh, Working Class. There's over 500 episodes. Like, you'll find something you might enjoy, and if you don't, just let us know. That's fine. Maybe not for you, but really, it's just getting after it, staying consistent, and having fun. And we're just lucky enough. We have a good crew. Like, I love the crew that we have at Working Class. Everyone's different in their own way. They're all their own individual, but we all get along so well. And we just vibe well, and everybody's got some niche in a way that I think it works. The chemistry is there.
Even Ross.
Yeah, Ross he's got a great beard. Yeah, that's his niche.
That's your niche.
He's a beard man.
And he's an electrician for farmers.
That's right. Yeah, he did all the electrician work in our studio, and Ross is a big buck killer, and we get along. We like
that's the real thing then.
That's it. Actually, that came second. We didn't know Ross was a 200-inch deer killer. It was the Crown Royal and the beard that got Ross on the show.
Yeah.
We're looking for a Crown Royal sponsor.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
Make that work.
Tim's in.
Yeah. I love Crown Royal. It's the best item that
Steve?
I've ever experienced.
Steve.
Settle down, Steve.
Steve.
Not for you.
Calm down.
So when Steve and Matt go drinking, they only drink Crown Royal.
Right. Yeah, Crown and root beer. There we are.
Yeah.
RC.
Yeah.
The studio, that's impressive, man. You guys went, the last, 6 months or
Roughly,
so?
yeah.
Opened up your own facility, and it's totally built around the podcast
Yeah.
and having guests in.
I call it remember Fantasy Factory with Rob Deerdeck?
Yeah.
It's a Bowhunters podcast fantasy factory.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
call it. And that being said, there's lots of deer heads in there, lots of taxidermy. We built a bar in there. It's our green room. So when people aren't on the podcast, they can hang out and watch TV and have a drink.
Sweet.
Or it's our pre-podcast entertainment area. Then we go record and have fun and play darts. And
Is your coyote in there?
yeah, it is.
Nice.
It is now. Yep. So,
Pretty cool. I mean, did you ever think that that's where you would end up with this thing?
No way. Honestly, I always did it out of my house. Like everyone came to my house every week, and then
I'm sure your wife loved that.
Yeah, my wife actually is awesome and gets along with all my buddies. But once we had kids, it's like, all right, we need to look. We were going to build a Morton building.
That's where we started. We started looking
the
at
hell
pricing
outta
a
here.
building and seeing what that was going to cost.
And
then
it was insane.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with lumber prices now. And then there was this old hair salon in a little downtown New Windsor, Illinois, which is a cool little rodeo town,
Yeah.
little farm community. There's a hair salon there, and I had a mutual friend that knew the people selling it. I'm like, hey, I think we'd like to see that.
Was
And,
it the cutting corral?
It was no, it was the hair loft.
Oh.
So we went in and looked.
Hair loft.
Yeah,
The
went-
old hairy loft.
Yeah, went and looked at it. Basically, it was like made him an offer. He took it, and we just clean slated it and
yeah.
built a studio there.
Do you ever still find hair around?
No, that's a nightmare of mine. We clean the hell out of it.
Well, if you have
See, I
that, it's
almost
an
cussed
investment. It's an investment, right? And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you don't want people trashing your investment.
Right, but
Right.
it's all good. We don't have. Yeah, we're good.
Sweet.
Deer hair there now.
That's
So
right.
don't invite Steve here because
Yeah.
he'll come in and destroy the place.
I'll judge it.
Hey, we'll get you in there. We'll get you. We still have old timers walking in. Where the hell am I supposed to get my hair cut now?
You ever try?
That would be Steve.
You should just sit them down
Sit
and
down,
do it.
sir.
Take a seat at the
What are
bar.
we gonna
You
do
should
about
have
your
a
shoulders?
clippers on, just kind of on call there.
Oh my god, I should. Yeah, that's
Get a
hilarious.
sign out front that says "We shave shoulders."
I think you're gonna say something else.
Yeah,
Like what?
Nothing.
I'm snipping the tops of ears off and stuff, trying to cut people's hair.
You get a lot of band. Now, are you a hemophiliac, sir?
Yeah.
Just asking.
Not me. Jeez.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a studio and it's fun. So
Yeah. But
Thanks for bringing it full circle.
yeah,
for us.
yeah. Thanks, Steve.
it took a lot of work, but
Yeah.
it's just popped out of nowhere, really, because you were
Yeah.
sweating on that, putting that Morton building up, how much it was going to cost.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like,
Oh, it's
we got to do
outrageous.
something, and then boom, it just popped
Yeah.
right up.
No, and it wouldn't have been enough room, but we got a lot of plans for the studio and the little downtown area in New Windsor, and I actually know the mayor really well. He listens to the show, and the community response is like way better than I thought.
Cool.
I figured they'd be like, who are these yahoos that cuss on this internet radio show? I tell most people we're on ham radio, but
I'll tune in tonight.
HAMM.
yeah, but no, it's like the community I think likes it. I think it's kind of neat, it's kind of quirky for a little town.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
Yeah, we got some cool things planned for the whole town, and like we're gonna be community people is my goal for that.
How big is the town? I know it's small, but
600-ish people.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, for the core town, and then there's like New Windsor's actually pretty big when you factor in all the farm ground. But
sure.
The suburbs of New Windsor.
yeah, that's what it is, and that's where I live. So I live 5 minutes from the studio,
Yeah.
but yeah, maybe 600 people.
I'm jealous of that.
We're right across from the grain elevator, so
It is
and,
nice.
and the tavern.
In the tavern.
Most importantly,
Yeah,
Yeah, it is nice. So 80's not too far away, and it's easy for
people get in and out.
anybody we're
Yeah.
going to have on, they can drop right in and
have a place for them to stay and everything.
Yeah.
We have a bedroom
there's a
set up
bedroom.
and a kitchen and all that. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
you can
It's
wash
fun.
your laundry.
Got that
Got
too.
Got it all, man.
Even if a person's not going to be on the show,
Yeah, come on in.
wash their laundry.
Yeah, come on in. Yeah,
I got some whites I got to do.
yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
So is there an upstairs part? Because I've seen the tours and all that. It's
Yeah.
just the main area. There's not a loft section to it as well, is there?
No, there's
Like an
not
apartment or
it's,
anything?
It's the design is actually like perfect because like there's a little hall between the studio and the bar area, and there's like a nice sized bedroom in there. And then on our wet bar, we made a beer can chute that goes down to the basement. There's a basement to
Nice.
it, so you put your beer cans in this tube, and it swoop, goes in this big 55-gallon knocking stuff.
Never
over.
know where they go. Just one day you go down there and you get a
slides into the
basement full
neighbor's
of
crawl
cans.
space. So I don't know. It's just one of our fun little quirky things we have. That's
Everybody gathers around the chute. Here goes another.
down into the neighbor's well. So, yeah, it's fun, man. We're pretty fortunate to have it, and it's a dream come true. It's my office now.
Cool.
So it's cool.
Takes a lot of work.
It's a lot.
To grow to that level and have aspirations to continue to grow.
I'm never not doing something for the company.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like you leave your 40-hour-a-week job to go work 80, 100 hours a week working
For less
yourself.
money, if you think
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it. You know, it's like you don't do it to be rich, you do it to be happy.
Yeah. And, at some point you hope that it grows into something, because that is the one thing when you have content, you never know if a group wants to come in and license it or buy the content. You never know what it can turn into. So owning all your own content, you never know down the road what might happen. But in the middle there, it just takes a lot of grinding, a lot of work, and staying consistent and doing it.
Yeah, you got to hustle. You can't miss a week. You can't clock out.
Yeah.
Especially now traveling to all these shows, man. It wears on you. It wears on your vehicles. It wears on everybody that helps out, that doesn't do it full time with you and have families and regular jobs. And I got two little kids at home, and the wife is understanding. She knows this is pivotal. I look at it right now as like a very pivotal time for our growth. So if we can be everywhere possible and can get out there, it's really important for what we want to do.
Thus the reason to do our podcast, to let all of our hundreds of people.
I mean, this is kind of the high watermark for you guys.
I love your guys' podcast. I respect it. I think you guys do something on a level that not a lot of other shows do. Honestly.
We're here every week. That's for sure.
You do show up. You're consistent. If
It's
nothing
fun.
else.
Yeah, I mean, your guys' obviously the production quality is insane. It's kind of funny because I'll watch your guys' podcast and watch ours. I'm like, man, it looks so much better than ours. But
It looks clean.
But we're very working class, It's just, we just clean cut it and put it out how it is,
Might add grain to yours.
Yeah. You guys have makeup people. You guys put makeup on for
right.
your guys'
Well,
podcast.
I mean, you got to look good.
I mean, you guys look great.
The foundation is
Not
really
easy
what
to
does
show
it.
up like this.
Yeah. We just got a beard groomer for Ross. That's all we got.
Matt's
So-
screaming before the shoot starts. Is my hair coiffed enough?
Yeah.
Let's do it live.
Thirsty. I need a Bailey's.
Where's the White Russians?
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if that was a quick version
Yeah,
of that story
perfect.
or not, but I tried to make it fast.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this question of the day. The question today is proudly brought to you by Blocker Outdoors. Get the deadly quiet of the Silent Tech Micro Fleece in Mossy Oak Bottomland for your turkey adventures this spring. We actually just got a box of the stuff show up this week, and it's pretty dang nice.
I love the way it
Forward
goes
to
on.
It's all in Bottomland, too, Mossy Oak Bottomland.
It's a good looking pattern.
Classic.
It is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Going back, way back.
I like it.
It's just like that Silent Tech line is just the right blend of warmth without bulk.
Now, the one thing for those guys that start like Mark that starts in March, you might need
layer
some
two
bulk. You
underneath
might
that.
layer up a little bit. But the rest of us schlubs that start in April,
Yeah.
We got our own bulk.
Comfortable hunters.
yeah, it's called fat.
Ew.
Not all of us have it, but some of us do.
I've heard of it.
Hey, what's up, Ross?
That's right.
Hey, let me in on this. Yeah.
Can I be in the club?
No, you can't.
no, Steve.
Go run your
Skinny Steve
100
over there.
miles or whatever it
Steve,
is.
what's up?
I like this version of the podcast where I have more people that
gang
hunt
up on
and
Steve.
More fat people on the
make
team.
fun of Steve. Fat bearded people like myself.
Yeah. Fat, dumber, bearded people.
So I did lose some weight last year. I dropped about 20 pounds during the transformation process with First Form. I have probably been made fun of more since I got
Gained some weight.
healthier than when I was a little chubbier.
Why does that add up?
It's-
They're jealous.
Might be some of that on
Could
my
be.
part.
Yeah.
Still hurts.
I need to
say.
get on that program. Ross and I are talking about how fat we were on the way up here.
Well,
So,
let me tell
down
you,
here.
doing those trade shows and all that traveling
Not
does
easy.
not help
No,
your cause
no,
I can
whatsoever.
feel it. I can feel it.
All it is shitty food, beer drinking,
Crown Raw.
late nights. that's it.
Yeah. Oh, that's all it is. No sleep.
No.
It's terrible for you.
One of those meals is probably enough calories for the whole day.
The day it is for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah. I got
A lot of
Yeah,
Casey's
but it
pizza.
tastes really good.
Yeah, dude. I got out here and a Casey's Pizza's triangle fell out in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, better pick that up.
It's just salty now. It's
Hey,
still good.
Scott and I can relate to it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, I always say more deer get killed with Casey's pizza in their belly than any other food.
That's right. So we got to run. We'll get to the question of the day shortly.
Sorry, we're here and we're ruining this for you.
we have a running text joke back and forth. It's like, man, we got to get Casey's to sponsor somebody here, you or me or both,
Yeah,
because
something.
we're both talking about it all the time.
I know we need to quit. We need to quit.
They're getting too much free
I know,
advertising.
That's
we need to
right.
Stop.
What if they just sponsor your lives?
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I'd be in for it. I'd be down.
Just feed my family.
That's right.
Body brought to you by Casey.
Casey's Pizza, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dude, I'm all good.
No complaints.
They taste
for
better
me.
out of that little pizza heater spinny thing.
Yeah,
Whatever it's
they
called.
do.
I was going to call it a pizza kiosk, but I don't think that's right.
I like that.
I like that.
I would eat pizza out of a kiosk.
Right.
That's what it is, basically.
Yeah, it is. Okay,
and
pizza
it's,
kiosk.
it's got a fancy light in it, and it
Man.
spins.
Hey, they
Keeps
taste
it
better
warm.
out of that.
Burn your hand trying to get the one in the back. You got to sit and
That one
wait for it
bacon
to
one,
come
You gotta wait.
come around.
I'm just gonna reach over top of all of them. Torture.
Rub your caviar in that thing.
Contaminate everybody's pizza on the way.
You just go to the deer. Nice.
You know, the thing about it, they respond to us on social media, like when we tag them or when we do any, polls about what's the best gas station pizza.
Oh,
they
yeah.
reply to the social team. They've replied, like I've had posts where Cameron, my son, and I are eating it, on to and from a hunt or whatever. They reply every time. And every time I'm like, hey, man, we ought to make it official. And silence.
Yeah, no, they're like, no, you're already doing it for
Yeah.
no money.
Yeah.
Why would I pay you for this?
Yeah, we get tagged on Instagram stories on more Casey's Pizza stuff. I bet you. I would like to compete with the jury side and the working class side.
Yeah.
Or let's just add them together. How many tags and impressions that makes for Casey's?
It's wild how many are out
We're still
there.
talking about it. We got to stop.
Yeah.
We count
We
like
got
all
that.
of our, so we have, we count every impression and everything for every partner.
Yeah.
I'm just going to add them in to see what it is for
Here's
a
what
year.
we've done for you.
Yeah. Now, we're going to
Royalty.
stop doing this
We got you
unless
right here.
it's like a ransom.
Yeah, we're terrorists.
That's right.
Pizza
Yeah.
terrorists.
That's right.
It stops here right now, this episode.
This is the last time. All right. So, Alvin is our question of the day today.
Yeah, this one goes to the Working Class Bowhunter group. I was just curious, what is it like to actually have a podcast that people want to listen to?
All right, okay. This is fake news. I just figured out who's Alvin. He's right over there.
Alvin Brook. It was Alvin Crook the whole time.
I love this.
Alan. This is BS.
Well, it's great to answer your question, and it's nice to come on these podcasts and just help these guys out.
Help the
Yeah.
little guy.
Yeah.
Spread the wealth.
It's a charity thing we're doing.
Thank you.
Mark cut me a little extra on the side to come down and
that
do this
hurts.
with you guys.
Just feels right.
I got to calm
Feels
down.
like
It
the right
went
thing to
great.
do.
The boys are good. And they're in good hands. We help the numbers.
Mark's like, hey, can you do me a favor?
Listen,
can you go on
it's a drive.
Matt and Steve's podcast and help the guys?
Yeah.
Mark's getting your name wrong.
yeah, calls him Steve.
Don't ask him to spell my last name.
Well, no
Oh,
one
man.
can.
That's hilarious.
Unspellable.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Glad we got to the question of the day today.
Yeah, nice job, Alvin.
I'm kind of sad we pushed that one back as far as we did. you
Yeah.
know?
Should have
Should've started with that.
Yeah, should have led with that. That would have put a little more pep in our step at the beginning of this
Yeah.
episode, I think.
Well, we'll pep it up with the wildlife word. It's brought to you by Hunter Specialties, makers of the DoD signature series of Tricky Calls.
Look out.
Here it is. What is a short day breeder? A short day breeder.
Breeder.
Yep. Is it A, an animal that comes into estrus when daylight is at its shortest during the year? Is it B, a small deer that finds sunlight romantic? C, an animal that struggles with commitment issues? Or D, an animal that waits to mate on the winter solstice out of sheer pretentiousness?
That's what she said.
B. That's what I'm going with.
Small deer that find sunlight romantic. I like where your headspace is.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Got a nice
Wow.
golden
How about you,
soft
Ross?
light again.
Man, I don't know. That sounds like
Short day
A should be
breeder.
the.
Ross is going A.
You're thinking
go-
more practically than we like to think here.
I just, reaction time, I went B, you know?
You did well in school, I bet,
Yeah.
like I did.
ACDC, ACDC.
I like B. B's a good answer.
D E E D E.
Make a pattern out of
Yeah.
your Scantron.
All right, Tim, what is it?
It is A, an animal that comes into estrus when daylight is at its shortest, just like whitetails.
Or B.
The more you know.
We can't disprove B.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
No, you
could
can't.
be
It could, it's plausible.
Could be.
individual type thing.
Maybe they
See what I
don't
did there?
Short day.
Is
Podcast
anybody watching
done.
still? Nope.
No,
They stopped
ain't.
10 minutes in.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, they did. That's why we should have led with that question of the week.
That's right.
Yes.
So, all right. Well,
Well,
good job,
I've
Ross.
never thought about that or heard that
No,
called.
I never have either.
That's what
the
we're here
sunlight
to do.
drives their hormones.
We're here to make you two smarter.
Well, good.
Smartly,
We could
I
use
think
it.
is the word.
Hey, Not a lot going on Working Class's side of
They got
things.
big beards, big deer. Now they're smartlier.
Smart.
More beer.
More beer. That's right.
There you go.
Well, we appreciate you guys jumping on this
for having us.
lowly
Yeah,
little
taking
thing
a
we
drive
call
down.
the 100% Wild podcast.
I love it. I feel like we ruined this.
No, it's only made it better.
Really?
There, you cannot go any further into the
Ruined it in a
basement.
good way.
Your baseline is just everything but from up here.
Yeah, there's only one place to go.
All right, I like it. Hey, glad we could be here. Thanks for having us,
Yeah.
for real.
No one
Yep.
follow the
I had
FCC.
somebody reach out to me on Instagram and say, you guys should really stop, talking trash about your own podcast because it's really good. And, it's real. What you say is reality to the audience. I'm like, but that's kind of the running joke.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not true. I don't think.
That's the whole point is like we're making fun of ourselves from things that we've heard about this podcast.
Imagine if it was the other way. If you guys were so cocky about it, it'd be the worst. Everyone would hate you if you're that way.
We'd have no facts to back any of it up.
Yeah, yeah. It's better being the other way and talking
right.
bad about yourself,
right.
and then doing better on
right.
top of it.
All
I
right.
should stop being a fraud.
That's right. I know you're not going to run the Omicron, whatever it's called.
That's a disease variant.
No. It's what's your
It's a
thing
5K.
called?
The
I'm doing an
Omicron
ultra-
5K.
What's it
Everyone's
called?
getting sick. I'm doing an ultra marathon in May called the Yamacraw.
Damn.
You're close.
I was close.
Yeah.
We're calling it the Omicron,
Omicron
from
5K.
here.
I'm running the chickenpox 40.
Ultra marathon.
Yeah, the
He's-
Black Plague 5,000
He's
run.
fast walking.
I would do that.
He's fast walking a high school track.
Yeah.
Get those hips going.
That's right.
Oh my
I'm
God.
let
raising
him
money.
fool ya.
I'm raising money to fight the bubonic plague. Someone's got to.
Yeah.
Their logo's a plague doctor. You know what I'm talking about? The old 19.
Oh, yeah.
Early
Put
1900s.
posies in your pocket.
God, we're dumb. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
All right, we're gonna
I
stop
think
talking.
people have had enough of us and you.
Yeah.
Yeah, me for sure.
That's so Raven. Sorry about that, buddy.
I'm adding him as a friend. No kidding.
Just wait until you're the amount of new listeners you guys are going to get from this show.
They'll be right to us and right back to you. That's what'll happen.
Yep.
I swear.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
All
fellas.
right. Well, we appreciate you guys jumping on. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
See ya.
Until next time, peace out. Temperatures are going to be dropping. Perfect conditions for the skinny field. Got to focus on those afternoon hunts. Northwest Tree Stand, 5 p.m.
It's the easiest decision you'll make this season. Get ahead of your game with DeerCast.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.